So if you want to just do your spiel, now you're doing on careers, right?
Yes.
So my daughter is in pre-med track,
Okay.
Biology. So it sounds like you guys are pretty good getting them into medical school. But I also read on the webpage that if there's a particular medical school they want to go to, that they should do their research and see what's required. So for career services, is that something you guys can help them with in the beginning?
Yes, definitely. So she decides to follow up and make an appointment with me and talk about different graduate opportunities, professors to work with, research opportunities. We can talk through that as well. And then she also has her advisor within the pre-med department and just all of the faculty partners there. So she would have, or your student, excuse me, I'm not sure if we said if it's a girl or not, but your student would have a lot of different options to be able to talk through the, I guess, grad school requirements.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, research opportunities or internships and all that. Do you guys deal with internships?
Yes, so we do deal with internships, observerships, where students can get clinical hours with some of our hospital partners. I will say that some of that stuff is kind of muted. It might be available virtually, but as soon as the world returns back to some level of normalcy, students will be able to revisit those kind of opportunities.
Okay, so how many students actually use your services?
Say that one more time.
How many students actually take advantage of your services?
Yeah, so to be honest, I wouldn't be able to say like 30% of our students use our services. I can honestly let you know that I recently joined the institution. And then once I joined, we kind of went to COVID. Or COVID kind of happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that my department is in the process of building the culture for students to know that they have career services as a resources. But I do push into classes for first students through their senior year to let them know that the services are available. I often position myself in the cafeteria as well, just so that they know that they have these resources available to them.
Right. I think that for me, of course, this is talking as an adult, I can see all the opportunities and all the ways that your department can help, but I don't think college age kids can really appreciate that. But that they can go to even if they don't know what they want to do or they're not sure.
Right. So sometimes students, I mean, honestly, they forget that they have me as a resource. So sometimes I do my best to bring myself to them or kind of meet them where they are. And so a lot of times that is in the student union building or in the cafeteria. So making myself available in spaces where students thrive, and then offering those resources in spaces that are comfortable, because career services can be a little bit daunting if you don't know what you want to do or what you're interested in, and you feel like you have to have a resume or a cover letter. And then also if they don't have a rapport with me or they don't know me, it might be tricky for them to take that first step. I try to do that as much as possible by, again, going to their classes, going to their activities, and just being very present on the campus community.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's nice because you guys are, to me, it's such a one of the most valuable resources for the students.
Yes. But
for your knowledge.
Say that again?
For your knowledge.
Yes, definitely. So I really hope that students really take advantage of this opportunity. I can talk through some of the new resources that we have. So we just got the licensure for Careerships. So it's a program that we pay for to allow students to be able to research job opportunities, internship opportunities, remote internship opportunities. It's not available to the entire world, just the schools that actually subscribe to it. And so I can go in and monitor the things that she's looking at. If she needs any kind of coaching, we can do that as well. We host workshops on how to develop their resume, cover letters, LinkedIn. So all of those professional documents, all of those foundational things, we do all of the work related to that. She also has the availability to be able to, I keep saying she, did you say daughter?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm like, is it a she? Yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, now I lost my train of thought. But from the time that they get here, I encourage students to meet with me early and often, because the more I know about you, the more that I can essentially work for you. For example, I just received an opportunity for an ACT, SAT tutor at one of the local schools, and I know one of the girls here is really interested in chemistry and teaching. So I was able to send her that opportunity. So I can work, yeah. So I get a lot of opportunities across my desk. And again, I can work harder for students if they say, hey, T, I'm interested in this. If you see any opportunities, send them my way. So it's also on available on our website, on our job board. But students who I know who are like, hey, can you send me these things? I'm gonna push it to them first so they can go ahead and get that content out.
Oh, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will you be, so you said you'll be talking to the students and giving this information to them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. So even if by any chance that I am not able to touch your first year student, I encourage you to just say like, hey, I talked to the career services lady. Why don't you make an appointment with her? And so I won't be doing a whole lot of face-to-face interactions in my office because it's kind of small, close quarters, and I want to respect student spaces. So we will be doing, again, still virtual career coaching and then some whole group things, but in spaces where we can kind of spread out, and then mass apply for internships, mass update our LinkedIn. So because that cohort, that group experience really helps students build momentum where they don't feel like they're the only one who doesn't have a resume or a cover letter.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So how long have you been doing this? Just this year?
Yeah, no. This is not my first year. So I joined the university at November, I guess a little bit before Thanksgiving break, so around November 20th or so. But before this, I was working at St. Lawrence University in upstate New York, and I was the assistant director of student development and career services there. So yes, I left that role after 3 years, and I've been here, I guess, about 8 months. So 4-ish years.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
I know I look really young in the face.
Yeah, no, I just thought you said that something about COVID. That again, I was riding my bike at that time and couldn't catch every word. But
yeah. Okay. So what I said was, because you asked me about like, well, what are the number of students that uses? And I wanted to be honest, like I really haven't been here long enough to be able to say, well, last year 30% of I have no idea. So what I always tell people, I started working here in November. The students went on Thanksgiving break. Then I was here for 2 weeks, and then December break happened, and then I was here for a couple months, kind of getting my groove, and then COVID happened. So again, still learning the culture and the community.
I know. Well, I appreciate that Centenary has, a department like that. I just think it's such an important, a big help to the students.
Definitely. I mean, I think at any if you just don't know that it's there, you don't know to utilize it. The other last thing that I'll share with you is our podcast that we recently launched. It's going through a rebrand called Ask an Alum. So again, in the event that I never see your student, there's so many different resources that she can tap to be able to figure out what she wants to do. So we have career conversations with Centenary alum, and then also just recent graduates about their career opportunities, how they chose their major, how they were able to maneuver academic and professional spaces, what work goes into securing opportunities. Because there's again, my expertise is in higher education, it's in counseling, is in teaching, whereas I encounter students who want to pursue law and they want to pursue dentistry, and I'm just like, that is not my strong suit. So I tap on our alumni community to be able to talk to students about that, and they're really honest. So they don't go to Centenary anymore, so they don't have anything to hide, so they talk about real things about how expensive real life is, and then we also get into the finances that are around graduate school and just life and paying off loans. So again, another resource for your students to use that I'm really excited to launch our season 2 in, I guess, in 2 weeks, we will be launching our season
2. My husband is a physician, he's an ER physician, ER doctor, and he's a DO, a doctor of osteopathy, which is the same thing as an MD, except they just do more, like they learn some more chiropractic stuff and holistic on top of everything else. But so he's always enjoyed talking to young people. They come to him asking him, when they're trying to figure out if they should become a physician or they want to go into medicine. and he just gives him some really great advice. And I didn't know if that would, if you'd ever like to talk to him. I know he'd be willing, even just to do one of those podcasts on a topic.
That would be great. Okay, so
because listen, his story, just so you know, is he grew up in McAllen, Texas, which is by the border, South Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And his father, had an alcohol problem, left his mom. His mom had 2 jobs. They were basically really poor. Then his dad died when he was 12. And so they lived in, like, what would you consider to be the rough area, the bad area. And he did, take advantage of friends at school. He got real close to a family, kind of filled in some gaps and took him hunting and stuff. But he graduated the bottom third of his class. Wow. And he played football. So, football in Texas is big.
It's huge.
Oh, you know what? I hope you're not recording this.
Oh.
Okay, because we could talk about this afterwards. Oh my.
Well, the university is recording it. It's not me.
Okay.
We don't have to go into specifics if you don't feel comfortable sharing.
Oh no, I mean it's. Okay. Nobody else is going to want to hear this if you're going to post it online so other people can watch it.
I actually don't know what they're going to do with the content, but I'm interested in the story, and you're here, so you have to.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, he played football, so you have to get a certain grade to play football. So he would get girls to take his test, and the teachers would just pass him.
Wow.
So anyway, he landed up in the ER from a car accident in his senior year, and he decided that he wanted to that's what he wanted to do. And his mom told him that he's not smart enough and that he just needs to get a job, that going to college is a waste, and he just needs to work. And she kept telling him that, but he kept, no, this is what I want to do. And so he went to his older brother helped him with pay to go to a local community college. And he basically got C's and D's in his first semester. And his brother said, "You're not going to go to medical school with this." So he had like an epiphany. My husband did. He always worked out really hard. And he decided that he needs to work out his brain like he does his body. So he started working out his brain more, and he went to a community college in San Antonio to get away from friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he did. He had to learn how to study. He had to learn how to learn. And he got his bachelor's in nursing first. And then he took a couple extra classes and studied for his MCATs and ended up going into a DO school in Michigan at Michigan State, where that school is right with the medical students. They take the same classes, except the DO students have to take other classes on top of that. And then, he just went on and was a chief resident, and he just loved it. And I mean, to me, it's just always, I didn't meet him until he was in his residency, but to me, it's such an amazing story.
It really is.
And he has a great idea. He tells him things like, it's such a long, difficult road that you have to fall in love with the journey. You don't fall in love with the prize. You fall in love with the journey. And that's the only way you're going to get there. Is love learning and just focus on that. And so he's just, I mean, to me, it's just so amazing that, because a lot of people get discouraged so easy that first year. They don't do well in the chemistry test, and then they don't think they can make it. And that's just not true.
That's a great story.
If you, he could always, if that would help you at all.
Well, yes. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can see. Okay, I can't see your face, so
no, you don't want to see my face. I'm all hot and sweaty.
No. I don't need to. But what I'm gonna do is, I would like to share my email with you in the chat so that you can send that information to me. Because I would really like to talk to him. I think that would be great. That was a very powerful story. And you also tell the story beautifully. What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, yes. What would you also like to share your story? You don't have to tell me now because I want to be excited, but would you be interested in that?
No, mine's pretty uneventful.
It's uneventful to you because you lived it.
I just, my mom, my parents never went to college, but there were 6 of us, and she just kind of told us girls that it's important for us to get a career so that we can support ourselves in case something happens. If we get married and our husband dies or they leave us. I mean, her father left her mom with 8 kids. And I don't know if that's why she kind of really wanted to protect us from being that vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just encouraged us to go to school, and we all went into nursing. But I don't know. I just really liked it. It just really suited me. And I went.
Really hard?
Yes, it was really hard because you have to. But I love sciences, but it is hard. It's harder than people think, but it's so much fun. And you just have to study. That's the only thing. You just have to. There's a lot of memorizing because there's chemistry and there's the learning about the body and the physiology. I mean, there's just a lot of that, but it's very doable. And the best part about it is that there's clinicals so that you can, you're actually doing hands-on. And I was always learn better hands-on. So I really took advantage of the clinicals and would stay later because the staff they like it when you want to learn. And so they would let you stay over. And if you wanted some experience, and because that's just how I learned better, I just kind of soaked it in. And so I did. But right out of high school, to make sure that was the right career for me. I worked at a nursing home because back then you could just learn how to be like an aide right there on the job. They would give you some classes on how to take a blood pressure and different things like that. Mm-hmm. And so I just took a couple of their classes from the nursing home and then just worked there, taking care of older people, giving baths. And I thought, if I can really love this, I'll probably like nursing. So
yeah, I didn't like that part. I was like, this is long. Yeah, I can't do this. It smells in here.
I know it was. There's a lot of good stuff. It's not just that. There's good stuff that kind of washes over makes you ignore the bad stuff. But because you're helping people, and I don't know, I really like that. And so then I went after I graduated, I went to a nursing school. So the requirement for that, is you got a 2-year degree. You got your associates, or you went to college for a year of prerequisites. And then this school, it's kind of like what colleges are at universities. They have like a nursing college or a engineering college. Well, it was like its own school that was attached to a hospital, a teaching hospital.
Right.
So, and it was the best education you could get in my area. So I went there, and so I ended up working there after I graduated with my RN in intensive care. And
wait, is an RN a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree?
An RN, what I have is considered a 3-year degree. It's called, but they've kind of done away with that. I think some places in the country, there are still these nursing schools, but that's how nurses used to be educated, was through the hospital, through schools affiliated with the big hospitals. So I didn't do a 4-year degree because that involved going away. And I just didn't want to go away to college. And but this one, an RN, you still come out with your RN. The 4-year degree is called a BSN, a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. The funny thing is that you have to take a test, the NCLEX, and it's a test that you have to before you can work as a nurse. And so the 4-year degree, and then the ADN, which is really an associate's degree, I guess,
we all take the same test to be licensed as an RN. So it seems kind of weird that you all start at the same place and you have to take you all have to take the same test, but to be an RN. But the bachelor's, you just have more opportunities as far as management. But if you don't want to do management, it's really not that big of a deal. It's never been a hindrance to me to do anything that I wanted. And because like you said, you all have to do the same work. And it's just you learn more theory in your bachelor's, which I never liked. But I worked in an intensive care unit right out of school, and at a big trauma center, and loved that. But what's so great about nursing is after about 7 or 8 years of that, I was getting a little burned out, because there's a lot of sad things and there's still good things, and you're helping with families. But sometimes it kind of, you want a new challenge, you worked at the same thing. And so luckily in nursing, what's so great about it is that I can.
Uh-oh, I think you froze, or I froze. I can't hear you though. But yes, hopefully the individual who was on the call will come back, because that was a dynamic conversation and we were getting to the good part. But for those of you who are still listening, I can go through, wait, did she come back? No, she did not. Some of my notes about what, I'm actually not going to go through my notes. You know what? Just come talk to me. All right. Have your student come talk to me. I will meet you wherever you are. So if you are starting from ground zero where you don't have any professional documents at all, so no resume, no cover letter, no idea how to navigate LinkedIn or know what a LinkedIn is, actually, the more you know, the more fun it is for me, because I get to teach you all these things. So it's okay. Wherever you are, just show up and say, hey, I don't got nothing. And I will meet you there and we'll work on it week by week, every other week. It's not class, so it's not graded, but I can be as invested or as, someone else is logging in. I can be as much as you need me to be. And I'm going to stop right there as this person logs in. Hello.
Sorry, this is Kelly again.
Okay, great.
My phone died. I had it plugged in, but it's this cord that I guess doesn't work. We just need to throw away.
Wait, okay. So what's your? Can you share? Is your last name Vega?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Did you get my email down? So just in case we do get disconnected.
I didn't finish writing it down. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you on a laptop now?
Yeah, I'm on a computer. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna send it to you on the chat. T-Davis3 send to you. All right, so that's my email. Once we hang up, it's gonna go away, but feel free to share your contact information, and then as well as your husband's, and then your title, so I can do some research. And I would love to have both of you guys on the podcast, because he has a great story, but you also have a really dynamic story too. I was super invested.
Now, you guys don't have any nursing program there too, so somebody would have to go somewhere else. Is that right?
Yes, from what I know. But I think that the university has partnerships with the allied health schools around here.
Okay.
Yes, but I wouldn't be able to specifically say this program, this faculty member. But if that's something that's important to you, I can circle back and send you an email and say these are the people you can connect with to give you the specifics.
Okay. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions for me? I feel like I'm like, tell me more about you.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. No, I think it's good. I just think you do a valuable service for the kids, and I just hope, I'm going to encourage my daughter to go visit you, and even just for those jobs and opportunities.
Yes,
it's a great resource.
Please do tell her to come by. I would say, usually I say, and we have snacks, but we can't give out snacks anymore. But we have great energy here.
Yeah, that's good. And it's just as good.
So yes, I don't have anything else.
Okay. You should have them edit this so that, because when they post this online, because sometimes I go back and I have watched some after the fact. Maybe they can edit out all that other stuff.
Oh, so people do actually watch the videos.
I don't know. I do if I can, just
Okay.
because I like information.
I don't know if they're gonna go back and edit it because they wouldn't know what to edit out and keep. But I will say, like, once you hung up, I was just kind of talking to myself, like, oh, I hope she comes back. Dang, I
Oh
forgot. So it's like me having a dialogue with myself.
yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
I think someone will get a kick out of it. So I actually hope
Yeah.
they don't edit it. It's gonna be way more fun if they don't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. What was your first name again?
I'm Tiara.
Tierra. Okay, I'll put that down. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Yes, no, this was great. I don't know if anyone ever told you this, but you're like a natural storyteller. I just sent you my name, Tiara Davis.
Oh yeah, my husband is so good. My husband's really good.
Is he? He must be, because you keep circling back to him. I was like, he must be dynamic. But you tell his story great too. Maybe because I don't know him yet.
He comes from a Hispanic background, so their language is like Spanish is like a Romantic language, and I never understood that until I got to know him, and he explains he will translate some things for me, but their language has such a beautiful way of expressing stuff. So when he tells stories, it's just so always colorful.
But it's not really a part of that oral tradition. Is hugely a part of like the Latinx community, like their cultural background, I guess.
Yeah, but he's really good.
He must be really passionate too. Like, I did this. Is that his jam?
When I met him, I was like, wow, this is a miracle. How did it happen? You're amazing. How did it happen? And he was kind of like, I think he just kept putting one foot in front of the other, and just he was so determined. And he is a very determined person. So
you said the first time you met him, you thought, wow, you're amazing. That's really nice to say.
Yeah. Well, he even told me where he grew up was so bad that you had to belong to a gang. So he was in a gang, so you had to fight or it was worse. And, he talks about his sisters, getting in fights, and he just said he never did the drugs or the bad stuff. He always made good choices, but
it's always there though.
He said, it's just the way it was. He said he had friends that were shot and, drug stuff, and it was rough.
Yeah. So you really think he'll do it?
Yes, I think he would. I think he'd love to.
But isn't he going to be busy? He's a whole doctor.
I know. No, he does. He works long hours, so that means he's got more days. It's not like he works a Monday through Friday job. They work like 10, 12 hours. So you only work like 3 days a week. I mean, he's got time.
And can you remind, what does a DO do?
A doctor of osteopathy, same thing as an MD. It's the exact same thing. It's just that there's medical schools and then there's DO schools. Mm-hmm. And the DO schools, their premise is they look at the whole person, and you're learning more about they look for a certain type of person. You know how different colleges have different people that they're looking for? Mm-hmm. That's how it is. And they have to learn the exact same things. And but they also, like, he explained it like this. He was at Michigan State. He was in the same classroom. The MDs and the DOs were in the same classroom together for everything, except the MDs got to go home and they had to stay to take another class on how to do like a chiropractor stuff, like how to do spinal manipulation and learn just different things like that, holistic type medicine. So they're more open. Okay. DOs are really popular up in the north and the east because there's a lot of colleges up there, but they're real popular because they're the nicest doctors and they just believe in a wide range. They support you in a wide range of things,
So would you be able to share his specialty with? So I don't know a whole lot about medicine, which is why I'm like, so what? Tell me what.
He's emergency medicine.
Okay. Okay. So that makes, because I'm trying to write down osteopathic, and I'm like, I have where does the EO go?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, emergency medicine, great. Because I want to do a little bit of research, but I just didn't know where to start.
Yeah, and he's an emergency medicine doctor.
You think he's on LinkedIn? You would know.
Is he what?
Is he on LinkedIn?
He is.
Are you on LinkedIn?
No.
Okay.
We don't ever look at it, so I don't know. But yeah, and it gets kind of like buried in our email.
Okay, so I guess I can just do a quick Google search on do you have an online footprint at all?
Not really, no.
That's okay. So what I'll do is I'm gonna probably re-listen to this conversation, and so the things that you talked to me about before we got cut off, I'm just gonna build questions around that and maybe throw in some other ones, and then I'll send you guys the questions beforehand, and then when you have availability in your schedule, then I will schedule a podcast interview with the both separately, but I'll schedule an interview with you all.
Okay.
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 Okay. Yeah, I don't want to keep you because I don't have any other
Yeah.
programs, but this was great. But I also don't want to run you away if you want to stay and hang out.
No, I'm good. And I will email you right now just so you have our email. We have the same email.
Okay. That sounds great.
And then we'll just keep in touch. But and I'll leave you my phone number because sometimes the emails get buried, especially in the beginning, when a new email comes in. So I'll send you my cell phone number so you can always text too if you can't get a hold of me if you need something.
Okay, sounds good. That would be great. Thank you so much, Kelly.
All right, thanks, Tiara.
Nice meeting you.
Have a great day. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna be here. All right. Well, still here, back again. I really don't think that they're gonna edit this, so it's just me hanging out. And also, I'm really close, so you can see everything. Boop, boop, boop. I really wonder who's gonna watch this. All right. So we kind of talked through all the different resources that career services offered. Actually, not even all. We're not really gonna be able to get to all of them just because everything has been somewhat halted. But some of the things that we would generally do, I'm trying to get back to my notes, involve site visits, involve having people on campus. But again, everyone is really limiting all of the interaction. So I guess what this year will really be focused on is skill building, making sure your professional documents are all locked in, making sure that you're building your network, and then making sure that you're knowing how to navigate all of those online resources. So when the world again starts to open back up, you have all the tools in your toolbox to be able to be successful. So all of our workshops, all of our conversations will be geared towards that. And not to say that employment and internships is not a viable option, but it's just a lot of things are halted. As I'm working with community partners, as I'm working with employment partners, no one that I've currently talked to is having people on campus, right? So just being mindful of where we are in this current moment with the recent surges. So feel free to email me about questions you have regarding career services, regarding our programs, regarding what we offer, regarding counseling. Happy to answer any of those questions. I'll share my email with you. It's tdavis3@centenary.edu. I also encourage you to check out our podcast. I have great energy. The conversations are wonderful. They're fun. They're dynamic. We talk about everything. Honestly, the way that Kelly and I were talking is really how I talk to people on a podcast. So really fun, but it's also really insightful in terms of what we get to learn about people's careers, questions. I try to ask the questions that people want to know but are afraid to ask or don't know that they want to ask those questions. And then again, financial literacy and finances is really important to me. So I interview a lot of people about, how were you able to pay off your loans? Tell me about budgeting. Tell me about these conversations that we should be having that we really don't because we're so focused on getting an A in class, which is important, but there's more life, a lot of life after those 4 years in college. So I encourage you to check that out. The rebrand is going to be under the name Ask an Alum. So I think that it's going to become A3 Nation. You guys are the first people that I'm sharing this with. The first title was Career Conversations, which is kind of raggedy, that doesn't really have any seasoning salt on it. I don't really know where I'm going. It just doesn't have that. Does that make sense? It just doesn't have any nothing. But I feel like Ask an Alum, it's 3 A's, A3. That's something that's kind of catchy. Anyways, still talking to myself. Yeah. So yes. Where can you find that? Email me at tdavis3@centenary.edu. Let's talk about it. And then for the podcast, it is available it will be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Right now, it's only available on Anchor because, you know, I'm trying to get this syllabus together. I'm just being honest with you. That's about it. I'm gonna hang out here for a few more minutes to see if anyone joins in. I don't know if I'm supposed to just kind of keep talking to myself. I could do that. But it's just not necessary. I am gonna pull up my notes to make sure I said everything that I need to say, but I think I did. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. All right, let's talk about some of the virtual supports. We talked about Ask an Alum. The other thing that I will mention is the Virtual Career Center. So that's available on YouTube. All right, so if you pull up, I think I'm supposed to be sharing my screen with you, but I did not prepare for that. So no screen sharing will be happening. But yes, for the Virtual Career Center, you can go to the Centenary YouTube channel and look up resume review, cover letter review, LinkedIn review, and Careership review. And essentially it's me in this with the same energy. I think my hair looks greater. I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyways. It's a video of me talking through how to edit your resume, how to edit your cover letter, how to talk through, how to update your LinkedIn, how to work through that, and then how to for LinkedIn, how to navigate it. So how to be able to connect with alumni. We talk about that. And then for Careerships, I just show you how to use it and how to navigate that. But it's not an end all be all. So it's a starting point. It's a starter conversation. So I do want you to start there, but I don't want you to end there. So you start with those videos, get like a draft going. And then once you have your first draft working, or once you have an idea of LinkedIn or Careership, then you follow up with me and I can help clear up some things. And that's a picture of me a student took. I know you can kind of see it. Yes, this is my first job, my first big girl job at the institution that I just left. But anyways, yes. So yeah, look at the videos. At any time. They're pretty fun. I think that I'm a little loud. I'm a little too excited actually. Sometimes I think that it's important to be, you know, jazzed up for this stuff. I'm also just passionate about it. But yeah, look at those, check them out, and then follow up with me one-on-one. And I encourage you, just this is my final thing that I'm going to say, really use me as a resource. Like I'm really here to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful, but I can't do that unless you're here, right? I can't do that unless your student is here. So in the event that you forget, or your son or daughter, or however your child identifies, if they forget that they have this, just remind them like, hey, you seem to be struggling with what you want to do. Go to career services. Like, you know, that's what she's there for. All right, that's it. It's been lovely talking to you guys, and I really hope that I get to meet all of you very soon. My name is Tiara. Most students call me T. Some of my students or patients affectionately refer to me as TT. I don't know how I feel about that anymore. Let's just stick with T. All right, catch you later.